Here we are together again. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Charles McClellan, good to see you. Good evening, Johnny, and all on the bus. Take a seat. It's starting. Yep, bus leaves shortly. There's Drew V. Look what I'm munching tonight. Beautiful little Kang Star Lemon Starburst. Thanks for being here, Drew, and thanks for being you. Dizzy Dragon, thanks for being here. Dennis, and thanks for being here, Dennis. Ray, Dennis Brace, hi, Dennis and Macy. Nemesis, Starfish of Fire. Love the name. Christopher Westcott. Saul, you know who I'm calling. Good to see you, Saul. Chili Phil, good to see you. Aaron Giorno. Good morning. It is 11 o'clock Thursday, where you are. Ethan Walters, hello all. Where do I get a lemon starburst? You know, I got this Kang Star Lemon Starburst was grown by Drew V. Amazing. Bizzle 636, member for 3 months. Whoo, whoo, whoo. There's my dude. Eat up. Love you all. We love you, dude. You are an inspiration. Good morning, Landscape. Thanks again, Johnny, former's dad. Yeah, I saw. Listen, guys, you have to see. Good morning, Landscape is Dad's old Honda Civic 2.0. He's renamed. He has a YouTube channel. Please go check him out. Definitely do that. Dennis, you know what? Dennis Mace. You got to check out his YouTube channel as well. You know, we're going to do that at the end, towards the end of the last 15 minutes. Anybody who's got a YouTube channel, let me know, and I'm going to kind of give everybody who's got a YouTube channel a plug. Brock Bandy, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Hope you all had a great day. Been getting our raised garden beds ready for planting this week, says Christopher Westcott. Very cool. Hi, John. Thanks for being here. Training for the Tube Terror 2.0. It's a good one, Starfish of Fire. Hey, bus driver, much love. Thank you, Bizzle. Right back at you, man. How hot is the Starburst? Asks Saul Goodman. Let's find out. This is a pepper created by Kang Star, and he's a great guy. I've only met him once. I've known him for a lot of years. It was a fun meeting because we met when I was in Dallas Zest Fest. He walked up and I was like, no way, it's Kang Star. And he was like, no way, it's Johnny Skull. We stood there and did that for a few minutes. Then everything was cool. But there's the interior. It's beautiful and fruity. It's got a great aroma. It's got one of the great crunches of all peppers of these little guys. It's got a very citrusy flavor. I'll tell you how hot it is in just a second. Thank you, Drew. Kang Star Lemon Starburst. Crunchy. It's not piping hot. I'm not sure what the Scoville rating is on it. It's mild to me, but it would be, it'd be a lot for a non-chili. If somebody's kind of new to it, it'd be pretty warm. If you chase heat, and it's gonna be somewhere between probably a 5 and a 7, depending on where you fall on the scale. Super tasty though, delicious. Okay, so don't forget at the end of this, we're gonna do a plug for everybody's YouTube channel. So get ready, get typed in, so later on I can ask you can plug it in there. I have one wish I could have posted my Tube of Terror on YouTube, but it's on Instagram. There's got to be a way for you to get that from Instagram onto YouTube. Has to be a way. Andy Paul, thanks for being here. He sent me those seeds personally too. He's such a great guy. He really is, Drew V. He's a very solid dude. Nemesis, love the extras for being a bus driver. A lot of content. Love, keep it up. Thank you, Nemesis. Yeah, we're over 80 videos. There's going to be 2 more videos this week for the bus pass. Are you guys at couch time? Digital Watcher, hello. Todd G, that's me. Good evening, Johnny. I'm so glad you and Tommy don't do live at the same time. Very nice scheduling coordination. I couldn't step on Tommy's toes like that. He wouldn't step on mine either. Um, have you seen the new 2023 Pocket Chip Challenge? I've never heard of the Viper Pepper. Box is black and green. Should do a clip on that. Here's the thing. It's a cash grab. If they're really hot, I'd have to eat honestly, to make it a legit challenge, I'd have to eat 70 of them, I think. And, that's kind of costly, but I reached out to them a few times and I do a promotion. I don't know. See, here's the thing. It's just a cash grab. I don't know. Sharon Chandler, so good to see you, girl. Hope you're doing well. Usually the ones he grows stays around 200 to 300 Scoville. I was thinking it was about habanero heat. Doesn't have the habanero sting. It's more of a burn, but I figured about that the same. Pretty close to that level. I have to edit it somehow, Chili Phil. I'm lost there. I don't know how to do any of that. Dennis Brace, you love how humble I am. You know what the world is? I'm very lucky to be where I am. It's really easy to be that way. If I had loads and loads of skill, I'd be patting myself on the back. Very fortunate to be here, Mr. Ray, I should make a YouTube channel about planting and turning food challenges into gourmet food and doing a side-by-side. Listen, here's the thing. Water finds its own level. No matter what you start a video about, someone's going to find it interesting. Think about this. There are 56 million YouTube channels. That's mind-boggling. Tommy Scoville, we were just talking about you. Don't say anything else. I love my life is in Australia. Starfish of fire. Oh, the love of my life is in Australia. Yeah, I get that. No braid. The braid's here. Let's have it kind of twisted up. I got to see. It's getting kind of raggy. That's all. Try my best. Only sometimes I beg for it to end. Oh, we don't want you to do that, but I can't give up. No, you can't, Sharon. We're praying for you. I'm praying for you. Guys, Sharon is going through it, has got some physical issues going on. Throw a one in the chat if you prayers or good wishes or good vibes or vibrations or whatever you do. She could use it. Show her some love. She's wonderful, honestly. Matthew Rich, good to see you, man. How's it going, buddy? Watch the Death Nut Challenge today. Death Nut's a yummy challenge. Charlie and Mary Mullins. I'm so glad you guys are here. Look at all those buses. Thank you, all you guys that have a bus pass. I appreciate that so much. Chili Phil, I know I could do the one chip challenge, but for the price, I could buy 2 tubes of tires. I'm saying, think about it. To me, a challenge with those would be to go till I can't go anymore and still have a bunch left. So I knew I went as far as I could go. That would just be a crazy expensive challenge. I don't know. Look at all those ones. Love you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. Richie J. Adventures, good to see you, man. Mitch Palacio, love your channel, man. Have you grown your own chili? Not yet, but I plan on it. I'm going to, Mitch. I promise you. I need 1 hot minute, says Ask Me of Everything. Boy, the 1 hot minute. Tell me that isn't one of the great. Oh, it's such a good segment. Tommy, the last time I was with Tommy and my baby brother in Reno. We had a 1 hot minute. Super fun. Such a good time. Did the Dizzy Dragon, did the Primatali from this morning cause any cramps or anything? No, you know what? I prepped really well right before it. I was a little concerned that it might, but it didn't. Fortunately. Aaron, I got a pre-made quinoa, broccoli, and green tahini salad from Costco. Mixed in a massive ghost pepper and 2-figure limes from the garden. And that sounds really, really good. Really good. So the pepper didn't stay hot long, but honestly, if you guys like peppers in that habanero range, that's such an awesome pepper. It definitely was a great time, says Christopher Westcott. If you guys don't know, 1 Hot Minute is a segment where we at the very, very beginning of right about now, I would tell everybody. By now, you would already know. And I say we're doing 1 hot minute. Everybody's got to get something hot, a pepper, a sauce, something spicy. And on the half hour, we all eat it together. Everybody puts up what their score is, and it's just an awful lot of fun. And Christopher Westcott came up with a name, 1 Hot Minute. It's a perfect name. Dennis Brace has a lot of hot sauces for one hot minute. Good times, good times. Trobos style. Uh, you know, it's funny when your brother's got, like, I have a million inside jokes with my brother. Just people we've grown up with. And I'll watch him doing his show and he'll say something. I know there's not a single other person on the planet who gets that but me. And he does it all the time. And in fact, I dropped one I told you the other day, Tommy. It was in the video I did, the pepper challenge from a day ago. I dropped a good one that you would have enjoyed. Tommy's cooking Korean chicken. Dennis Rosa, good to see you. How's it going, old friend? I just bought the tube of terror. Kind of scared by it, even though I have pretty good high tolerance for heat. They're hot. Here's the deal. It's a legit challenge. It's one of the, it's not the, like, look, to me, think about the Pocky One Chip Challenge. The biggest challenge of that is swiping your card. We're doing the tap, whatever you do. There's the challenge. Eating it's not that big a deal, but man, it's expensive. The tube terror isn't that expensive, and boy, the challenge is eating it. 3 hours of cat cramps from your original tube 3 years ago. I was a neophyte. You know what? Listen, if you think of, I wish I could somehow quantify and get a number of how many hours the tubes of terror have caused in cat cramps worldwide. I bet it would be just unbelievable. You don't have to eat the whole tube to get it. I've known people who just on empty stomach ate 2 or 3 and are cramping. When you eat really hot stuff now that you're used to it, is it still really hot or is it like Tabasco sauce? Saul Goodman asks. It depends on what I'm eating. Tabasco is very mild. I still taste it. I mean, I don't, the great thing is the higher your tolerance gets, Saul, the more you're able to taste. So when I eat I was with my brother. All right, good example. We both ate a Frankenstein BBM, bubblegum Frankenstein. It tasted different to me than it did to him. My tolerance is high enough that it allows me to taste things because my mouth and brain isn't completely focused on the pain I'm in. So there's a great reason to have a higher tolerance. A peanut butter with raspberry Reaper jam sounds amazing right now. It does, asthma me everything. It does indeed. I'm glad I sent the salted apricots. Watch this time before you got there. Funny seeing you guys eat them. I think Tommy just like the watches. Watching him suffer through those are brutal. Ray, those apricots, man. I don't know how you do it. I watched the video. Eats the thing. Straight face. No big deal. Crippling. It was crippling to me. It paralyzed me. It was amazing. I made, you see that? For my ex-wife and me one time. Used Trinidad scorpions. Almost took us both out. I don't know what that was. I can't even say it, but it sounds like it'd be good. The tube of terror test my tolerance just had a slight heartburn. I remember the first time I did it. Look at this. Mr. Wolf says 44 in the chat, only 10 likes. What's the deal, dude? Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Johnny K, good to see you. Yeah, and funny you ask. I was just saying something a minute ago. The visas, yeah. I'm submitting the paperwork. I have it all together right now, but I'm submitting it this week again. Waiting for an additional piece of paperwork, but it should be done soon, hopefully. Potato Man World, all the best, Johnny's. Greetings from Toronto. Greetings. The tube of terror is no joke, Jason P says. No, it isn't. Today would have been 9 years married if we would have made it. Yeah, I do all I can to kind of look that way. I hear you though. You know what? I remember my anniversary of my kid's mom. I used to, every time it happened, I'd remember it. We've been divorced so long, I can't remember what day it was. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but what's my favorite pepper to snack on? Johnny K. I don't know. It's a good question. Depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll snack on ghost peppers, but lemon yellow brains are great to snack on. Yellow snackers are great. Tom Broom has those. There's a lot of great peppers. Habaneros are great to snack on. I think the responses panel on YouTube should be upgraded. Johnny deserves to see how many would be loves. Oh, that's cute. They used to tell you how many downvotes you got, Sharon, and they did away with that. Now you know you get downvotes, but they don't want you to know. You can see what the percentage of upvotes are. I think you know what that did. If you're a troll, that took your downvote away. At least before you could, if you were a troll and you clicked a downvote, you could see that number change. Now you're just like you're an anonymous troll. It just gave the troll another degree of separation. Now, I talked to Foy today about the chocolate tuba-terre nuts. That's going to be practically impossible. But I do have some good news about the bacon. This morning, I think we finally came to a place we both agree on the bacon. And it was that idea that he had, which was brilliant. I never would have thought of it. And it really just makes it so much better. Nice, Tommy. It's funny. So we should have bacon cheese balls very soon. They are so good. Oh. The Proud American. I love spicy food, but every time I eat something hot, I get bubble guts. Is that normal? Yeah, it is. You know, at the beginning of the pod season, my stomach takes a beating. At the end, I can eat, molten glass. So it's a tolerance that rises. The tolerance in your mouth for heat rises faster. The tolerance in your stomach to process what you've chewed up, that tolerance builds a little bit slower. So it just takes time. A good question for the chat was, what was the pepper that made you guys start chasing the heat? Me first. It was a pepperoncini from Papa Scoville. Great question, though. What's my go-to hot sauce, Johnny K? You know what? I'm going to have to say something from Tabasco. I mean, it was the first sauce I ever fell in love with. I've been avoiding that question for 7 years. I've got 300 plus bottles of sauce in my house right now. I've reviewed hundreds and hundreds. What I've been saying is if I whatever meal I'm eating, if I pick the right sauce, that's my favorite sauce. But I don't really have a go-to sauce I just put on anything. But Tabasco, you can just about put on anything. What is your best food to use hot sauce with? Jacob Merrick asks. You know what? I put hot sauce on anything and everything. Noodles are great. Anything Mexican's great. Pizza's great. I haven't bought salad dressing since I started the channel. I use hot sauce as salad dressing. For real. So, ice cream, I mean, you name it. Todd G, and the leather O-ring gets punished later. I know Tommy's falling apart right now. Oh, goodness. Pepper and chili for Christopher Westcott, too. Then the jalapenos. Yep. Tommy's laughing. I knew it. Tabasco in my potato salad, says Johnny K. It's good stuff. I put Tabasco's so good. It really, really is. All right, Drew V says, when I was a toddler, my grandfather had a bell pepper garden, or at least attempted to have one. He used to pick all of the bell peppers before they got big. I've always been a pepper lover. Boy, bell peppers are so good. They really, really are. I can see you doing that, Drew. Sneaking in the garden, snatching peppers. I love it. Steak is great, too. Yeah, steak is a great idea. Steak is great to put sauce on if you have the right sauce. I've got like 4 that I would put on steak. But usually when I have a steak, it's kind of nothing. But what's the worst thing I've ever tasted? Hi, Darren Myers. Well, that's a good question. King Wim, good to see you. What was the worst thing I've ever tasted? Surströmming. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why it took so long. Surströmming, worst thing I've ever tasted. Hands down. Tommy, you concur? What do you like on your chicken wings that taste good? Digital Watcher asks. You know what? More than putting them on wings and basting them, I'll just take sauce and pour them on wings. So any hot sauce I've got is, you can put. There's a million things you can put on wings. Mauro Soro, it's funny to say Tabasco because I'm Italian, and he said pepperoncini, and it's true. It's the truth, man. Thanks for being here, Mauro Soro. Travis W. My first pepper was cayennes. I grew as a kid. Great pepper, man. Blech, double blech. I love Vegemite chili, man, sir. I really do, man. Honest to God, I do. I think Vegemite is such a good thing. Oh, I found a jar of Marmite. I didn't know I had. Thought I'd use it all. Found a little jar of Marmite, which is great. I prefer Vegemite. The texture of Marmite is kind of wonky, but still tastes pretty good. Before I was a chili, I've seen people put a hot sauce on ice cream. I thought they were nuts. Boy, was I wrong. Asthma me of everything. Man, it's true. There's a whole lot of great sauces just for ice cream. You know, Panango's good on ice cream. Darren Myers remembers that video. Darren, you need to see. I don't know if you saw the milk video I just did with my brother. Oh, yeah, we just did a milk video. Enjoy the chicken. Give Mama Scoville a kiss from me, Tommy. Tommy and I tried to chug a gallon of milk. Didn't go so well. I'm not going to lie, it was tough. I think Vegemite over surströmming for Tommy, just a guess, Mr. Wolf. No, I think he's going to tell you that surströmming's worse. Vegemite's just salty and savory and yummy, but surströmming is just brutal. Ethan Walter's first peppers were jalapeno, then Hungarian wax. It's my Rick. Half of people mispronounce it, dude. My last name is Welsh. Took notice of the standards in the rear with the gear. Myrick. So it's Myrick, not Myrick. Myrick. Thank you, Jacob. Can you do an episode of peppers and the origin of their existence? You know what, Proud American? I should have been doing that all along. Every time I do a pepper, I should give you the its origin of where it came from. Now I got to start all over again. 4,500 videos. That's it. We go back to the beginning. It's a good idea. I really should. I'll try to do that moving forward. It's just breaking a habit. I've got such a habit now. 4,500 times. How many videos do I have? This one that we're making right now will be 4,604. So 4,600 videos. Rotten Shark, Charles McClellan, the Carl. I texted College Boy. I haven't heard back from him. That was a very, very funny video. That was one of the funniest videos ever, in fact. Yeah, had such trouble with that. I've been following your advice to do slivers of ghost peppers to get my tolerance up. Great tip, man, says Potato Man World. You know what? It helps. And the great thing is you're eating ghost, you're tasting something hotter, you're moving your needle up. And the great thing is if you start with slivers, you can really use ghost for a long time because you have a ways to go before you eat a whole one. So the ghost, you can park it on ghost for a while. And that's a good one because it tastes so good. Peppermint, asthma, mirror, everything. You know what? We do. There's it's funny. They have, there's Promite from New Zealand and Marmite and Vegemite, but they all pretty much taste the same. You can tell it's from the same family. Jason P., your surströmming video is one of my faves. That was funny, but I think the milk may be funnier. I don't know. No, that surströmming was really funny. He had trouble with that. Dennis Brace, have I ever did 4 videos in a day? I think I've probably done 5. I'm sure I have. Yeah, I'm sure I have. It's been a while, but do you want to hear something funny? When I first started, one of the guys that I really looked up to, he was one of the reasons I started my channel. I watched his videos all the time. He reached out to me and says, "Can we talk?" I was like shocked I was going to talk to this guy. And he called me and we talked for a while. And he says, what are your goals with YouTube? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I make videos and throw them up. It'd be cool if somebody watched them. That'd be a cool goal. He's like, you looking to do this for a career or something? I'm like, I don't know, man. I just, didn't really know. That was I said, I don't know, And he said, because you can't. He said to me, and then he said, a little constructive criticism. I said, go ahead, tell me. He says, you're making you have to understand something. The first couple months I started the channel, I only did like 2 or 3 videos a week, like 3 a week. And I was doing 3 a week, and he says to me, you're uploading way too much. People are going to get sick of watching you. You don't want to saturate, overdo it. I'm like, okay. and that was like 3 a day. That was 3 a week, and now I've averaged. That was honestly, the channel was only like 2 months old then. Seems to have worked a little bit. I wonder how much bigger the channel would be if I like had someone edit them, and I don't know. Until I watch a video and they have a new intro, I watch the intro one time. Cool intro. I get to the video. Next time I watch that person, I've seen the intro. It's the same. I go right to where I know the spot's going to be where they begin doing their thing. And I'm just like everybody else. I'm no different, I guess. That's what everybody does. I can, on the analytics, I can look at any video and tell you exactly where people start watching, where they fall off, the high points, the low points. And it's fine. They say, use this to see where do more of what did this and less of what there. And I just kind of make videos. Never really pay attention. It's all the information's there, but I look at it from time to time, but I don't do much with it. The body is not meant to consume that much dairy at all at once. You're right, as remember everything. It's the truth. The milk video is a favorite video of mine. It says Christopher Westcott. Yeah, I don't care who you are. You're going to become like lactose intolerant if you try to drink a gallon. Just a bad idea. And the worst part is that you're uncomfortable. It wasn't like, when I eat peppers, I'm like, after I'm burning, I'm so used to that. If I cramp, I'm used to that. I know what it is. When you drink a gallon of milk, it's just so horrifically uncomfortable. It's not heat. It's not burning. It's not, cramping. It's just so uncomfortable and just this awful, all over awful body feeling. Real deal. I'm out. Love you all. Gotta go to look at a new shop. Keep doing what you're doing. Doing what you're doing, and keep chasing the heat. It's a wonderful thing. Night all. Thank you. Good night, Real Deal. Hope the night goes well. Be careful driving around. Friendly advice to anyone on the thread. Johnny is quick with the quit. He does this pro bono, Latin, meaning for free. This is a man, much ado, Italian. I wish the best for all involved. Jake, you're funny. Listen, it's always been like that. And listen, can I tell you, I almost feel bad about having a bus pass. But it's cool because you get a lot of good stuff for the bus pass. But, you've never seen like an ad where like a sponsored ad where there's like a video in the beginning and then the video starts. I've never done that. And I get offers to do that by at least 1 or 2 a week. Sometimes I'll get 2 a day, but all the time. Over the years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds I've got. I usually don't even open. Walker, Texas Peppers, love checking out your videos. Inspired to see how others creators made their way. It's inspirational to help me improve our channel. You know what? It's really funny. Like 6 months into it, someone came to me and said, I need the advice to how to have a successful channel. I'm like, if you find that guy, let me know because I'm looking for that advice too. I don't know. Here's the deal. You want to know what I did? I did the coyote technique. That's how I built my channel. If you guys want, I'll tell you how the coyote technique goes. You guys ever seen Coyote and the Roadrunner? All right. So the coyote and the roadrunner's ahead, and the coyote can make a turn like that. So he can and so the coyote can't, and he runs off the cliff, right? You all see it when you were kids. Keeps running, right? He's fine. He can keep running as long as he doesn't look down. Once he looks down, he falls. So I don't look down. That's my technique. It's the coyote technique, I call it. I just keep looking up. I don't look down. I've never edited a video. I don't really edit videos. I don't have a studio. You're looking at it. I don't have any. I got a great camera, but I don't have any professional setup. I don't use a mic. Nothing's, I make mistakes in every video. So my whole thing is this. If you're having fun making your videos, people will have fun watching them. If you ever feel like you're going through the motions and you're kind of just making a video because you think you need to make a video, quit making that video. Because it won't and also just be yourself. Be yourself. Try to be somebody you're not. Here's the deal. You know why you don't want to do that? I had a friend who told me that he goes, the first video he saw, he's like, man, if you don't swear and cut up and get crazy, your channel is never going to grow. If I had a persona that I did, I'd have to do that I've made 4,600 videos. Imagine having to put that on and doing a persona every single time. At some point you forget it. You're just like, I couldn't imagine keeping that up. So just being yourself really, really helps, But the other thing is you just got to do it. Like, what do you have to lose? You go on Google, go to Google and type in how to be a YouTube partner. We'll send you to a website. It's one page, maybe it's two. I haven't looked at it in a long time. You fill it out. Say what your channel is going to be about. I did that. It says it's going to be family friendly. They said they'll let me know in a week. I think they let me know in like 3 days. I remember I said, hey, I'm a YouTuber now. And the funny thing is you sort of think you're a YouTuber the minute you do it. But you really aren't a YouTuber then. And you have to your skin will thicken up. That's another thing. Here's the thing. There is no video out there. Like maybe there is. There was, what do you do? Here's how to prepare yourself just in case your channel works out, and it works. There's really no, I didn't know anybody who had done it. So I couldn't, I had guys like LAB I look up to, but I couldn't really call them on the phone and say, hey, was it weird for you? Or is it, you know what I mean? So there are some strange things that happen. And you just sort of got to deal with it. Some of them are trolls. I mean, a lot of it's the positive stuff. You can't let that go to your head. You got it because you'll have people saying that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You're just an idiot. I know what I am. I shave every day. I see myself. So you can't let all the good stuff go to your head and make you feel good. And the flip side of that is all the terrible things that people say to you. You can't let that stuff go to your head either, because you'll have people say the worst things to you. Oh, like I had guys listen. It's funny. Tommy did his channel tonight about the whole cancel culture. We had people try to cancel us. I don't know if you got. So if you weren't around then, you may not know. But it was an absolute full-on coordinated attempt to cancel me and my business and my partner's business. They were buying products and burning them, making videos. You know what I did? I never looked down. Kept making videos. Just did my deal. Kept making videos. So. Now they tried canceling me. I'm not going to go anywhere. But the trolls, that's something that you don't think about. They literally had people made a video celebrating when my dad died. You got to think about what kind of a person does something like that. It's very sad. There were times where I remember early on, I would, trolls really don't get to me. Every once in a while, I'll comment back to them in a comment, just for fun. Occasionally, I'll pin their comment if it's a really stupid one, just to make them feel like idiots. But it's just kind of weird how it happens. It just, it just sort of snowballs. That's what great followers are respectful, and they really do. I see a troll, Jason P. Yeah, you know what? They pretty much stay away. You're going to see them. Listen, I trust and believe I have people that hate me and hate my brother. And, my dad used to say the best revenge is living well. And I'm not trying to listen. I'm just being who I am. But like this show that's coming out, if you're somebody who doesn't like me, this show is going to it's going to bother you a lot, because I'm in like every episode. I'm in like almost every scene. In fact, if you didn't know better and you saw it, you're like, did Scoville write that thing? Like, I didn't write it for me, but kind of wait till you see it. So people that don't like me, it's going to send them, it's going to wind them up. It's got to be who you are, I mean, Ray, Johnny does the Coyote Peterson approach to YouTube, films himself in pain and makes people watch. I don't know, it's an interesting thing. Chris Morton, good to see you. What's the best way to get rid of super hot burn on your hands? First of all, really important to know when you have it, because sometimes you don't. Try washing your hands with lemon juice, with like the antiseptic alcohol, the antiseptic hand rub that's got alcohol in it. Try that. But the truth is, you can wash them a bunch of times. It's still going to be there and bug you. RPGK gaming. Good to see you. Listen to this, man. I had this. It was one of these, but it had 14 million, and it was down at the very bottom, and there wasn't a lot of stuff in it. So I had a little bit of it was just the dry, all the alcohol evaporated off, so it was just pure capsaicin in the bottom. So I took some tincture from a different bottle, put some in there, and I wanted to shake it up and let it dissolve all the capsaicin and make it a hotter batch. So I put it in my hands like this, and I went like this for like 10 minutes. Didn't burn my hands all, didn't think anything was on my hands. And it's fine. Brushed my teeth, went to bed. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's when I realized that there was hot stuff on my hands. I will leave it at that. Zach Ballou, good to see you. Johnny, I have yet to experience an endorphin dump from hot peppers. What would you compare it to? This is a tough one because people aren't going to want to hear this. But I'm just being honest with you. The closest buzz that you can, like a street buzz or any buzz, that for a comparison is an opiate buzz. Okay? Pills like, Vicodin, Percocet. It's an opiate buzz. It's just, and the weirdest thing is it hits so fast. Like I've had times where my pain has been like a 9, and I just eat one more pepper, and it's like a plunger on the painkiller. Just one more pepper, and I go from a 9 in pain to a 1, no pain at all, like 9 to 1, instantaneously. All of a sudden, it's like pain's gone, and it's the most euphoric, amazing feeling. It is what it is, but it's legal. It's healthy for you. It brings people together. To me, it's a decent thing to be addicted to. Jay, hey bro, just stopping by to show some love. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you doing that. It will wear off eventually, says Mr. Wolf. Here's the thing, man. I've worked with pods where I've had gloves on. It goes right through your gloves. If you're working with tincture, it'll go through anything hot like extract tincture. It'll go right through latex gloves, and you think you're covered, and you're not. You just got to be really, really careful. It is what it is. Cody Lee, she went from 9 to 1. Okay, Cody, thanks for being here, dude. By the way, did you get any updates on Chase E4? Yeah, I do, Bizzle. It's in the process. This, by next week it should be up on the website. It's being made this week. Next week it should be on the website. It almost feels like a muscle relaxer painkiller. You had fewer the profile. Yeah, it does feel like that. That's kind of like an opiate is a painkiller, Cody T, what makes the premium fatale so intense? I believe it's the capsaicin that you find in the yellow fatale. It's very high in a certain type of capsaicin, which hits differently when you eat it. So it's just a very violent, very, very in your face, very quick burn. And I think that's what makes it's a startling burn. Catfish, redneck. Good to see you, Catfish. Random Toaster, how are you tonight, Johnny? I'm better than I deserve, Random Toaster. I appreciate you asking. Thank you. It's really funny. I'm telling you, sometimes I read comments. I'm like, I can tell it's something it's a response that somebody else has said, and I kind of want to read it. But if I do, I'm lost in the middle of a. It's funny. I've seen Tommy do that. It's really funny. I got some funny stories. I don't want to say. I'm not going to tell them, but there are some very funny stories that have happened while I was doing live streams, and once you've done enough live streams, there are some things, some steps you get wise, and you won't make those mistakes. I watched Tommy once. Was doing a live stream. He read the question. I'm like, dude, read the question up here before you read it that way, because he read a question this way before doing it up here. I was like, oh, and then you're committed to answering it, or at least you've said things out loud that sometimes you don't want to say. It's pretty funny. Again, no course for that. They don't teach you how to do that. Barry Santolo, good to see you. Long time no see. Glad to see you're doing well. The last vid I watched was you when you were close to panic attack from some hot sauce and a pepper. Hot sauce and a pepper. It must be the panic mode video. Thank you, Barry. That video just recently got 1 million views. It's like 1,008,000 now. But thank you for watching, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Phone's dying. Great chat. We'll watch on TV. Later's all. Great live. Thank you, Walker, Texas Peppers. Appreciate you hanging with us. I think my favorite bird is ghost pepper. Just keeps creeping. Yeah, I love that about the ghost pepper. I really do. Joel Lawson, it's got to be tough keeping your story going while still trying to keep one eye on the comment thread. If yeah. Sometimes, it was weird. This isn't so bad now. It was the 25-hour long live streams. Those were unbelievable. Because it literally is 25 hours. The only time I ever stepped away was to go to the bathroom. So I was like, I'd stare at this thing for 25 hours straight. And when I was done, like, it was the hardest thing in the world to unwind from. It took like 8 hours till my head would stop spinning. It was just, that was harder. But I don't know. We came really close to trying one of those when I was out in Reno, but that's such a long commitment. I don't know if I can do that again. Johnny, I feel like you eat pocket chips by the bag, huh? You know what, Random Toaster? I don't eat that many. I really love them. It's a great chip. The Haunted Ghost was the first chip that people went like, wow, come on. And it still is a great mainstream hot chip. So I like them a lot. I think that the Pocky challenges I don't love because it's just a money grab. I mean, it really, really is. That said, I love it because it's brought so many people into the chili world. So I love what it's done for the chili world, but it's just, a money grab. Imagine if I sold the tube of Taylor $19, and if you knew the tubes, what we buy them, and there isn't a lot of profit in those. There really isn't, especially anyway. If I sold those for $40 a tube, you know what I mean? It'd be the or 50 a tube. It's almost the equivalent, but I don't know. They've done a lot for the chili world, so I can't be too hard on them. Do I think the Carolina? Good question, Chris Morton. Do you think Carolina Reaper will officially lose its crown, and to what pepper? Also, is there a scientific method available to home cooks who check the heat of a pepper objectively? Good question. There is a device you can buy. There's an app you can download. You can put something on and check it out, and you can test Scoville ratings in your home. The Carolina Reaper, here's the thing about the Carolina Reaper being officially, I didn't consider it the hottest pepper 6 years ago when I started the channel. There were already hotter peppers that I had the very first year I started the channel. True story. So it wasn't the hottest pepper then, and it isn't the hottest pepper now. It's to me, I'm trying to think of an example. That's like saying the Carolina Reaper is still the hottest pepper. It's just not. I can't think of a good example. It's not even close. There's peppers that are there, and it's not like there's one or two. I've had a half a dozen peppers that are consistently hotter than a Reaper. The Reaper is only hotter by a marketing company with the name Guinness Book. That's it. Here's the thing. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when the hottest pepper right now is Primatali, right? If there was a grower that was smart and had a field of Primatalis and could come up with gallons and gallons of Primatali mash, who do you think people that make hot sauce, do you think they're going to buy Carolina Reaper mash or Primatali mash? It doesn't matter what the name is. It matters how hot it is, because if you have a hotter the mash, the less it takes per bottle to make your sauce hot. So if you have a mash that's significantly hotter, you need less of it. So the same amount goes a lot further. And it's the reason people want a hotter mash. So just watch. You can see stuff. I can tell you as a content creator, if I put the name Carolina Reaper in the title of a video, it doesn't do much. There was a day where just having the name Carolina Reaper in a title got you a few more views. Today, if you put Primatali in the title of a video, you get a lot more views. Everybody on the inside knows. So the day is coming for sure where someone will have a hotter one by that company, the Guinness Book. But the truth is, it doesn't really matter, only to the people that believe that what the Guinness Book is true. But here, I saw a great poll. What percentage do you think of Americans trust mainstream media? They did a poll. Cross party lines, it didn't matter. But what percentage of Americans do you think believe mainstream media? It's 7%. Okay, so nobody believes the mainstream media. I think that the Guinness Book has less respect than the mainstream media. You know, the thing I like to say about it is a lot. When you're a little kid and you're sitting and your feet go straight out because they're too short to put your feet down, and you're holding a book this big and you're looking at the dude with the longest fingernails, or the twins that are the giant twins that ride mini bikes, or the biggest watermelon, or the tallest dude, or the shortest person. That's the coolest book in the world. But then you kind of grow up, you get out in the real world, and then at some point you will see that company for what it is. Like, you understand that the Chris Saunders, the guy who created the Primatali, he's a backyard hobbyist. It isn't his life. He made some pepper. He crossed it in his backyard. He's a hobbyist. It would cost. It's an enormous check he would have to stroke to submit the pepper to Guinness, and if he wins it, every single year he's got to stroke a check to the tune. I think it's either 20 or 25. You don't need to quote me, but it's a fortune just to be able to claim either on film or in writing that you have a Guinness record holder. Let's say that Saunders was to submit the pepper. Chris Saunders submitted the pepper. He stroked the check for that. It was the hottest pepper, but he didn't have the money to stroke the check to be able to claim it. And he made a video where he said it's the hottest Guinness book. Guinness Book would sue him into oblivion. They don't care about records. They care about money. And that's really all it is. Get off my Guinness Book soapbox. Sorry. Didn't mean to get carried away there. But it's true. You just can't believe things you hear. Like if you believe a story you see about a celebrity in the news, if you believe any story you ever read about a celebrity, none of them are true about any of them. There may be a shred of truth somewhere in there, but sometimes it's just outright lies. It's clicks. It's what sells. I don't believe anything I read. I just don't. Why do you think about this? The second they put TVs in the homes of Americans, that's when we went off the road. You know what I mean? Why do you think they call it programming or programs? Tonight's programming. They're programming. They even said it. They weren't hiding it. They came right out and said, hey, programming. Okay, turn the TV on. You know what I mean? I don't have one. I haven't had one in a long time. Obviously, I have to get my news from somewhere, but I just don't get it on TV because I don't believe any of them. Period. James Castell, good to see you, man. I believe everything on the internet. They wouldn't print it if it wasn't true. That's too funny. 1 minute, you heard. Good to see you. Corrupt. Boy, how it really is. Well, what's worse? Look at the internet. The internet's horrific. Good news travels fast, but bad news travels faster. It's the truth. The history of that is dark, Johnny. Indeed it is. You can't believe what you hear or read, and yet people end up get social media to express their outrage and cycle. Well, people don't really. It's the truth, Todd. People don't like critical thinkers anymore. Like we've gotten to a place. I heard something today. I was watching. I'm not going to say who it was. It was a politician. I'll tell you this much. It was a former president. I'm not going to say which one. And they were saying that they look forward to a day where everybody sees everything the same. That's horrifying to me. The whole idea where everybody sees everything the same, that's terrifying to me. That sounds like a dictatorship. That doesn't sound like a good thing to me at all. I love the fact that we have differences of opinions. That's what makes this world go. But the problem is we just got to learn to be able, like, there was a day where it didn't, people had different difference of opinions and it didn't matter. Like you got to think about being a celebrity nowadays, and I'm not one, but think about a celebrity. Like in celebrities in the 60s, nobody knew who you voted for. They didn't know what car you drove. They didn't know who you were with. They didn't know where you lived. They didn't know what your income was. They didn't know where you went to school. They didn't know who your kids were. None of that. Now, somebody's a celebrity. There's access to everybody. And it's just a different thing. It's just a totally different thing, man. And I don't know. It's just a very strange time we live in. But you can't believe everything you see. It's just a fact. You can't. I've not been to Wales, Cody, but I'd like to. I put in for an exclusive contract with Ripley's, believe it or not. Same, we had emails going back and forth at the end. Didn't get anything running with them. Maybe next time, Aaron. I don't know. I jumped out of the the airplane the first time and ate peppers. I submitted something to the Guinness book. I paid $5 to do it, trying to get eating whatever the current hottest pepper was in the world. How many you could eat during a skydive? And I submitted that, knowing that if they approved it, that jump wouldn't count. I'd have to do it again. That's just, it was after the fact. If I submitted it and then made the jump, it'd be one thing. But they never responded back to me. I don't know. It's sad that the richer means the hotter, Moro Soro says. I don't know. To some people, I feel like I've gotten to a place where the best things in life for me aren't things. What I value the most in life are people and connections and souls and friendships. That's what I value the most. Now, there was a time where I chased that. Money was super important to me. You know what I mean? Things were really important to me. I've been, my car had to be German or Italian. I went through that kind of phase. All right. But then thank goodness, I kind of got to a point where I realized that none of those things really matter. And I think some people, in life, you'll catch somebody when they're in that phase I was years ago. Fast forward, like there are people that knew me in that phase that never met me again. In their mind, I'm still that idiot that has to drive a Porsche or whatever. You know what I mean? So think about that. I think about it all the time, the version concept. How many versions of you are there out there? It's horrifying for me to think of how many versions of me there are out there. And the concept is, like when I was in high school, there was a time, just think any stage of my life. If I was a stage like in college where I was drinking constantly, just partying like a lunatic, there were people that knew me during that stage that for whatever happened, I would kind of go somewhere else, and I would never see them again. All right. Well, in their head, they're gonna say, "Man, I knew this guy in college. He was a lunatic." And that was the version that that's it. It's painted in their head. They'll never see me any other way. And throughout my life, I've worn 10 trillion hats. I've done a million different things. So there's so many different versions of me before I ever started the channel. And then I start the channel. You know what I mean? Fortunately, there's fewer versions with the channel than there were before the channel. But I want there to be as few versions of me out there as possible. I want to be consistent. Chris Morton, I don't know as far as chemistry point of view. I'm not quite sure. It's a wonderful question. I don't know how to even answer that. Ray Master Roshi, aka Johnny, is the biggest celebrity in Chaplin. Funny, Ray. Funny, James Castle. You drink the plutonium 9 million Scoville unit sauce is one of the craziest feats I've ever seen. And I've done it 3 times. How silly is that? And the last time, I gargled it. I knew you meant Japan. Chaplin. Man, Ray. That multiverse is a strange thought. Thomas Martin. The whole multiverse. It's kind of a big jump. I was watching that today. It's kind of funny. I giggle sometimes at these shows. I was watching one and they were talking about what does an infinite universe means. Is the universe infinite? I think it probably is. You know what I mean? Anyway, and just from he went from, if it's infinite, then that means that there is an infinite number of Earths just with people just like you. Your name is Johnny Scoville, and one you're a bank robber. They always want to throw the bank robber in there, which makes Tommy and me laugh a lot. And one you're the president, one you're a bank robber, and I'm like, how are you going to make a jump from I think it's infinite to there's an infinite number of you out there? That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. It just made me laugh. Then that same night, I'm watching a video, and they were talking about, this is what I do when I can't sleep at night. I'll always start off watching like cat videos, kittens playing with dogs. Next thing you know, I'm looking at black holes. And I'm like talking about Hawkins radiation. I'm like, oh my God, is it really going to happen? And I get that's the rabbit hole I go down. And this person was, this is like a week ago now. It was because I think I was in Reno. This person said we have to become interplanetary. And This person said, because if we don't become interplanetary, here's why: we'll go extinct as a creature. We're going to have to leave this planet because eventually, in a billion years, the sun's going to swell up and evaporate all the oceans. And I'm thinking to myself, a billion years. A billion years. I'm telling you, I don't think there's going to be anything around a decade from now. And he's talking about a billion years. I just laughed. I thought, that's funny to me. It's crazy. Bizzle 636. Do I like police interviews? Bizzle, I do. I went down the the true crime rabbit hole. I went through everybody goes through the serial killer. That's part of your indoctrination in the internet. You got to do a deep dive on serial killers. I did that. And I'm into interrogations. I find fascinating. I really do. I used to think that like the first 48 was the only real reality show, because that really was reality. And it was fascinating because you would see the bad guy, and you know they're the bad guy, and the cops know they're the bad guy, and you watch it all unfold. And it's a pretty fascinating thing. But for police interviews, to me, are because you get to peek into the mind of somebody. Like, I believe anybody's capable of anything. Like we all are capable of some terrible things. And when that happens, you get to peek into the mind of somebody and where they're at. It's fascinating. See, I was watching Chess Pit Player last night. Here's the deal, man. That's the internet. It's the internet. You see some crazy things. That's a problem, though. All the internet is like an echo chamber. So people will get an opinion, and they're not going to go to any place that will ever challenge their thoughts. They'll go to like I'm right and you're wrong.com. And they go there and they get these bullet points, and then they'll go to work the next day and throw these bullet points at people. But no, they're just getting marching orders. They can't even defend why they think what they think. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. The ghetto bird is flying now. I can't hear it. The ghetto bird. We have them at the office all the time. That's what we call it. Police helicopter. You see it all the time where I work. We have our offices in Charlotte. And I'm telling you, I have 2 different shootings on my phone, like videos. You can't see people, but I'm like hiding behind a building here. 2 different gun. You can see clearly 2 different calibers from 2 different kind of areas. When we go from our office to the place next door to get drinks, we do the serpentine walk. We don't walk straight. But all this started because my man Bizzle said, "You like police interrogations?" I totally do. Absolutely. Connor Sloan, you're all beautiful. I know this channel from the Lifeboat. Tommy has changed my thought processes about a lot of things. And seeing your brothers do what you do has made me close to my brother. Wow. I have to take a picture of that. I have to read that to Tommy later. That'll put a lump in his throat. Thank you so much, Connor. That's beautiful. Someone made a comment today. They said, I don't have a brother, but if I did, I'd want to have a relationship like you and your brother do. It was very cool. Tommy's a good guy. Am I a fan of Tommy Lee Jones, Cody T? I am. Tommy Lee is great. He's been great in a bunch of great movies. But yeah, I like Tommy Lee. Everybody's jaded these days, no longer have independent thought process. And here's the thing, Jason P. I agree with you. I don't hate people that disagree with me. It's like makes the world go round. My mom always says a kite can't stay afloat without some resistance. We all need a little resistance. It'd be no good if everybody just sort of saw everything the same way. It'd be absurd. I don't know. It's a strange time we live in, Guys, it's 10 o'clock. You know what that means? It's time to close up shop. We're going to stop the bus now. Everybody can get off and go back to your evening. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I love you guys a lot, for real. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. We'll do this again. We'll hang out together. We're going to have a good time, I promise you guys. So in between now and then, be the difference in somebody's life. Be positive. Stay true. In the description box, you'll see all the normal stuff. The boat, the bus, more videos. I love you guys. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.